Soufflot is a French architect working in the neoclassical style, and he's going to create the Pantheon in Paris, which starts life as a church and is currently a church, despite the name, which is fairly interesting, but we'll get to that. So what we see is what appears to be a Roman temple transcribed into the streets of Paris. The front of the building, the colonnade, appears to be almost perfectly rendered from the ruins of the Temple of Jupiter. And those Corinthian columns actually continue throughout the length of the building in the form of a large cross with a dome at its center. Now, it's named after the Pantheon in Rome. The Roman Pantheon was meant to worship numerous gods at the same time, giving them a sense of equality in this round building, sort of similar to King Arthur and the Round Table. When you look at the Pantheon in Paris, it's very similar. One of its original ideas is that it would serve as a church to, well, basically everyone. Didn't matter what religion you were. When we look at it, we see something fairly simple. It does have the sculptural elements that you would expect of a Greek or Roman temple. So we have pedimental sculpture in relief. But the exterior, apart from the columns and the dome, which I'll get to later, is very simple. The walls are blank. We just see this garland pattern hanging across the walls and some simple reliefs over the openings. And yet, it's very much a Gothic structure. It's giving us a sense of verticality. We have a deep set entrance, covered in this case by a classical colonnade. We have a dome or spire in the center. It's built in the cross form. It's lacking some of the windows that you would expect, but those are primarily in the dome, bringing light into the structure. The dome itself is based on both Michelangelo's dome at St. Peter's in Rome, but also on Christopher Wren's dome at St. Paul's in London. And we can see that here. We have the three different layers of the dome: an outer dome for the weather, an inner dome, which is structural or primarily structural, and then we have the innermost dome, which is the one that you would see from the inside, with an opening in it, which shows us this secondary interior dome. The lantern at the top actually goes through to the structural dome because it's providing weight. It's putting these materials in compression so that they withstand the force of all of the rest of the weight of the dome. Obviously, stone, for example, or brick in compression is incredibly strong. Apart from that, this is an example of the neoclassical architecture that the Americans will pick up on later on.